Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options. Had a epic, obviously an epic weekend in global events, but it was an epic weekend. Went up to Naval Air Station New Orleans, or Belle Chase Joint Reserve Base, however you want to call it. Got to hang out with a lot of my old brothers there because we went up there to see my one of my best friends fly his last hop in the Hornet and retire. And one of the there's three men on the face of this planet that have more than 5,000 hours in the FA-18 Hornet. That is a lot of flight time in one aircraft. There's only three of those patches walking around in the world, and my best friend Nips is one of them. So we had an absolute great time. Those guys coming into the break there, low altitude, full of airspeed, brought a tear to my eye. It was awesome. So good stuff. Congrats, Nips. And it was great seeing all my friends. A little less hair, a little bit more gray. Obviously not with me. I'm talking about with all them. I just look fantastic. I think I'm getting younger. Anyway, in other fake news, let's get airborne. So obviously just an incredible weekend for the president. Stepping into North Korea, we know it was all photo op and all that stuff. I have a buddy in the Secret Service, not on protection detail, but we were talking over the weekend about just how freaked out the Secret Service was, and just the world situation. I mean, president walks in North Korea, they shoot him, or where's the vice president? Is he ready? Just epic stuff, and. But obviously symbolic, but it's better not talking at all, right? It's better than nothing. He hasn't fired any ICBMs. He hasn't done any nuke tests, so better than nothing. And obviously if Barack Hussein Obama had done this, the media would be fawning all over themselves about how he's looking for peace and he's unconventional and trying everything. But of course Donald Trump does it, and he's meeting with a brutal dictator. Of course they forget to mention that Barack Hussein Obama gave billions of dollars back to the Iranians so they could kill more Marines and soldiers in Iraq. 608 Marines and U.S. Army personnel have been killed to date by Iranian forces with the money that Barack Hussein Obama gave back to them. So yeah, bring that up to idiot liberals. Iran. So we'll get to what's going on with China. And by the way, before you even end this video, hopefully everybody got out of their FXI positions at the open today. The two FXI trades that I placed Thursday in the Analyze Your Trade and Debrief were up $4,100. I bailed out of those, and the SPY calls that I also placed last week were up $1,800. So about $2,000 in a day and a half of trading. I guess technically a full day of trading. Took the $6,000 and ran. It's going to be a very happy 4th of July there. But the Dow's already faded this. This thing, as I predicted, we'd probably get a pop. And then a drop, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to talk about the headline. So look at that gap up at the open, and then we're gonna get back below the 3,000, which we already are, and we're going to chop sideways into the Fed. But let's break this down. One of the reasons we're going to do that is between now, the next big thing on our radar. So the G20 is behind us. What's the next big thing? The Fed. And the Fed is at the end of the month. What's going to happen between now and the Fed? Well, Iran came out today and says it breached the nuclear deal limits on enriched uranium. So the president, a couple weeks ago, I lit him up for his words, not necessarily the strategy. I lit him up because of his words with the whole drone thing. But now what are you going to do, Mr. President? Iran is breached its nuclear deal limits on enriched uranium. And, oh, by the way, all our buddies over in Europe are doing what? Ignoring the sanctions. They did their own side deal with Iran so they can get oil. So this is going to come to a head, folks. It's going to be a hot July, no pun intended, with nuclear weapons. So that's going to come to a head. But this is, here we go again, man. Financial media people are stupid. And I can't stand the headlines here. U.S. stocks rally towards records on a trade truce. S&P hits new record. Dow rises more than 150 points. It's only up 97 right now. After Trump and Xi agreed to a trade truce. All over the place. Market high from Trump-Xi trade truce may not last. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand, the word truce means what? We stop firing at each other. We are still firing at each other, folks. So every time you see the word truce in a headline, don't read the article because the person who wrote it's an idiot. A trade truce would mean we are not firing at each other anymore, and we're done. We stopped firing. what the president did is not increase tariffs, right? And he said, we might, put Huawei back on the table. So all of these headline guys they're comical. All we did, all these two, which I predicted was going to happen to the tune of nearly $6,000 in profit today, all I said that these guys were going to do was tell the lieutenants to get back to work and try and work on a deal. We are not seeing a deal anytime in the near future. Massive obstacles remain to this. So it's comical to look at these headlines. So I look to get out. I don't think I get out of the one. Calls. And by the way, I just sent out a weekly options trade on VXX volatility. So the VIX obviously got smashed at the open. Let's bring up the VIX here. I just sent out a bull put spread on VXX. How about last week, man? Look at this. VXX last week, max profit of $2,000. The week before that was like $3,800 or $3,500, and the week before that was another $2,000. Absolutely printing money 3 weeks in a row. 3 shots, 3 kills, trading volatility here at Top Gun Options, printing money. And this week, in the holiday shortened week, we're getting bullish on volatility, or at least it's not going to go lower. Okay, so here, let me bring up a 3-month chart. So here we are with the, oh my God, Trump backed out of the trade deal. We got a new resting heart rate up here at around 16, and now we're getting smashed today. But look at this, folks. Where are we getting smashed down to? Kind of the lows of recent goodness, but we're going to hover up here, folks. Does anybody think that, John Bolton or Donald Trump it doesn't know that Iran did this today? What, is he just going to ignore it? Or are we just going to focus on trade the rest of July? That's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And they might wake up and start blowing up tankers again and stuff like that. So Bill Blaine, very big 500-pound head in the financial space. Nothing was solved in Osaka. The U.S. and China remain on a collision course. Yep. Copy, print that headline. That's exactly word for word as the way I would say it. So Bill Blaine putting it right down the fairway there. So yeah, trade ceasefire rally could be short-lived. Another idiot, Patty. Patty doesn't know what the word ceasefire means. So look it up, lady. This is a big week towards, obviously, Thursday. The market is closed for the 4th of July, or Happy Treasonous Colonist Day. But Friday, we get what, man? Friday, everybody hung over, and hopefully with still your fingers and toes, we're looking for the non-farm payroll number. Got to take a look at average hourly earnings. I think we're going to be in the $1.50 range. Remember, last month was one of those, oh boy. I think that's an anomaly, and we're going to get back to, like I said, 150. We're looking at 164,000, but this is going to be a triple-digit gain. So if we get a good jobs number on Friday, what does that mean for the Fed meeting at the end of the month? On Wednesday, as everybody's heading out the door, we get some trade numbers, PMI, non-manufacturing PMI, and factory orders. So going to see a little potential market movement on that, because remember, we're in bizarro market now, right? Now all eyes are on the Fed for the, July 20, 28, 29, whatever it is at the end of the month. Let me take a look here. 30/31. It's literally the end of the month. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 weeks of what going on? We got 4.5 weeks of, Mnuchin and Kudlow and all these guys coming in and out and saying, oh, things are going good. Actually, they're going bad. And then we have all eyes on the Fed and what they're going to do at the end of the month. And obviously Iran. So it's going to be a big month here. Like I said, I got out of my SPY calls. I got out of my FXI bull put spread. I'm trying to get out of the FXI calls, but beautiful trades. Like I said, a day and a half with 3 trades and $6,000 in notional profit there. So hopefully everybody's happy with what's going on here, and not to mention the $2,000 profit on the weekly options trade from last week. So having a great time here at Top Gun Options. Matter of fact, I'm going to see many of you at 1 o'clock in about 25 minutes for the weekly options brief, and after that, at 3 o'clock, we have solo Amazon and the XLY trade that we placed, was that a couple weeks ago, also expired on Friday for a max profit. So XLY looking good. And obviously Amazon looking good. It had a really big pop today. It was up about $30-$40, giving some of that back. So we'll take a look at Amazon at 3 o'clock. Okay? Got to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll talk to you for Tuesday's market SITREP tomorrow.